Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your general reading for November 2020 mid-month. So we are looking at the last 2 weeks of November. This reading is for the fire sign of Leo. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well as we continue to head into our winter season. For those of you celebrating Thanksgiving this year, I hope you have a wonderful and safe holiday. And thanks for all of your likes, shares, subscribes, donations, feedback, and comments. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. So this reading is for Leo. That's Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Rising, if your Venus is in Leo, if you're cross-watching for a Leo. It's all relevant. But of course, being a general reading will resonate a little differently for everyone. So if you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch them all for additional insight and perspective. If you find that any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading, you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow, which will give you some contact details. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I do offer a wide variety of readings, and particularly as we are headed into the holiday and gift-giving seasons, personal readings make great gifts for people. And also particularly popular this time of the year are the 6 and 12-month overviews I do, which kind of give you a bit of a look ahead, either 6 months or a year, which I always get a lot of requests for as we're approaching the end of an old year and the beginning of a new one. So something else to consider. I do readings full-time, so I'm pretty diligent at working with everyone's schedules to get personal readings set up as quickly as possible. Okay, Leo, let's see what the last 2 weeks of November hold for you. I am using a brand new deck called the Tarot of Dreams. I've been quite excited to get this deck. Absolutely beautiful artwork, although the deck is a little bit bigger than I'm normally used to, so I'm still getting used to shuffling. Okay, Leo. All right, Leo, we begin with the Palace of Wands. In this deck, artist Ciro Marchetti added a fifth card to each suit called a palace, which is kind of a fifth court card, or a place that represents the physical environment of the court cards of that suit, or the energy of that suit. We have the 9 of Coins, the 7 of Coins, the Emperor, the Knight of Cups, and Judgment. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy is the 3 of Wands. So your overall energy, Leo, for the last 2 weeks of November is the 3 of Wands, which represents, if I can pick the card back up, which represents having a pretty positive and optimistic view towards the future based on small goals you're seeing met, or small things being realized on the path to a larger goal. So feeling very positive. This card also represents that you've put some work or an effort into something, or someone else close to you has, and because you're beginning to see things pay off, you're beginning to see things manifesting, it's making it possible for you to look towards the future in an optimistic way. Although since we're still pretty early on in the path, we're only at the 3 here, kind of cautious optimism here. So that's the overall energy for the the second half of November. We have here the Palace of Wands, which is the physical environment for the suit of Wands, which is fire, which represents the possibility of what can be attained through passion, action, manifesting, and desire. It represents the ultimate attainment of what we want, but it's also, this palace here is built onto kind of at the top of a mountain, which implies that there's a bit of a long climb to get up there. The road might be somewhat challenging, but it also represents that it's attainable as well, through action and manifesting. This card comes with the Emperor attached to it, which is the traditional father figure of the tarot. It's Aries energy as well. I actually feel like for a lot of you, the Emperor represents a person or situation which is coming back in. I feel like there's an offer kind of coming in overall, Leo, here. I feel like this situation represents a relationship, but also a physical environment that's attached to the relationship. So some of you, this might be a love romance relationship and it's attached to the home environment. It could be a friendship. It could be work and the work environment as well. Because I feel like for many of you, this is a situation which has some history to it, and that history has been kind of up and down, and that someone is coming back in to make an offer during this time. Or because even though I'm not seeing kind of the Six of Cups here, I feel this energy of something returning or something being readdressed. Either a person returning to make an offer, maybe because they didn't act the way they should have acted in the past. For example, if it's a love relationship reading or a friendship or even a boss sort of situation. And I feel like this also makes a huge difference in your actual physical environment here. Because right next to the Emperor is the Knight of Cups, which represents an offer, an opportunity for change coming in, but it's emotional in nature. The Knight of Cups is the Knight of Water, so this is somebody who comes charging in, pretty much bearing their heart on their sleeves and declaring their love or whatever it is that they're charging in to make an offer. Which is kind of interesting paired with the Emperor, because the Emperor is all about structure and discipline. As an actual individual, he rules all of the kings and queens. And he may be the ruler of this environment too, i.e. if it's a husband or a father or a boss or something of that sort. And the Emperor, because he's so structured and dominant and controlled and linear and liking things to be in a certain way because it's about self-discipline and accountability, it's interesting that he's coming in with this offer. And again, I feel like it may have been, because the Emperor isn't one to express his feelings easily or very blatantly or very visibly, because he's a very controlled individual. So again, I feel like there's some history behind this. And it looks like you're contemplating whatever this offer for change is here, with the Seven of Coins. Contemplation, reflection, looking at what you have already invested into this relationship, into this job, into this environment, into this friendship, and trying to make a decision based on that. It looks like you are actually doing quite well. We have the Nine of Coins here, which is a card that represents being very self-sufficient, very independent. You've worked very hard to get to that place, particularly in a financial or material way. It looks like the last 2 weeks of November are going to be good for you, money, material-wise. But this is also a card that represents feeling kind of the positive consequences of having worked really hard to get to a place where you feel that you're very independent and you don't need to depend on or rely on anyone for your happiness, your self-esteem, your independence, your day-to-day needs, etc. We also have Judgment here, which falls directly under the Contemplation card. Now, Judgment usually represents being at a crossroads where you have a choice. You can make this choice, you can make that choice. Choose door A, choose door B. But there's a pretty serious, and it's Major Arcana card, there's a pretty serious kind of finality about judgment. In a courtroom drama, this would represent the time where the defendant is being asked to testify in their own behalf, and what they say could potentially change the outcome of a situation. So it's an opportunity to make a choice, perhaps. But the air of finality is that once you say something, it can't be unsaid. Once you choose something, it can't be unchosen. So it's about thinking very carefully about the decisions you make, the things that you say moving forward, which is probably why it's falling under this contemplation and reflection. So just a quick recap before we clarify. There's a situation, a relationship, a situation that feels as if it's had some struggles. And based on the Emperor acting in kind of an unusual way with the energy of the Knight of Cups, Leo, it feels like perhaps in the past, another person who is involved in this situation or relationship or connection with you perhaps they didn't show you what you wanted to see, tell you what you wanted to hear. Perhaps they were so into keeping everything very linear and structured that they didn't give you what you needed and what you wanted from them. Again, whether it's love, relationship, or friendship, or a work situation. This looks like somebody who ruled the environment of the situation. So if it's at work, it would be a boss or a high-up supervisor, or a husband or male figure. It could be female, but the Emperor has a pretty masculine Aries energy. Somebody who was kind of over the structure of everything, but particularly your home environment as well for some of you, or your work environment as well for some of you. And I feel like almost a sense of them scrambling because they may be afraid that because they didn't perhaps extend or offer what you really wanted and needed, that they're coming in now to make an offering. And it might be because, all of a sudden here you are as the Nine of Coins, this independent, beautiful, taking care of yourself, not needing anyone kind of energy, which can be very attractive. And they may be feeling a little threatened about that they lose their hold on you or their place in your life. That's kind of what I'm getting. Again, regardless of the nature of the relationship. So there's this sort of contemplation energy kind of playing forward into the future a bit as to taking a look at what you have invested in this person, place, or situation and asking yourself what you do. So let's clarify this a bit. Let's clarify that Three of Wands. Although the Three of Wands does indicate that there may have been some recent changes which have you feeling more optimistic than you were previous to this. So let's clarify that Three of Wands. I just love the artwork on these cards. Even the back sides of them are just gorgeous. Clarify the Three of Wands. The Four of Cups. Again, something being offered. The Four of Cups represent someone who has an offer being extended to them, something being offered to them, represented by this beautiful goblet. But they already have three goblets upright and full to them, and even though they're looking at what's being offered, they're not, as of yet, making a move to take it. It may be because they're already, again, this feels like it's connecting with this Nine of Coins. It looks like you're feeling you're in a really good place. You're being seen as being in a really good place. And the Three Cups represents what you already have, whether it's in attention or work environment or love and relationship. It just doesn't feel like you need what's being offered. You may want it, you may find it kind of interesting, but at this point, again, contemplation of this offer. You're not making a move to take it just yet, even though it looks like you're feeling sort of optimistic. And it could be that there's been an offer recently that's come in this situation, and you're looking at it, and it makes you feel kind of, optimistic, But again, I get the sense of caution, which implies that there's a history here that hasn't always been good. Let's clarify the Knight of Cups. What is this Knight of Cups offering? The Knight of Cups is the Knight of Water, which is the element that governs the suit of cup. It's emotions. It's about our emotional landscape and environment. And it's quite lovely in this card. He's portrayed, instead of being on land and being on a horse, he's portrayed in water on a seahorse. Lovely. So what is the Knight of Cups bringing in potentially? The Six of Coins. So this is also about gift giving and gift receiving as well. Yeah, it really feels like this Emperor is quite serious. Whoever this Emperor is to you is quite serious about an offer that's being made. Now, of course, because this is a general reading, it might be on the flip side. It might be you might be the one, Leo, that's making the offer. Clarify the Knight of Cups, Six of Coins. What is being offered or presented here? Have to really concentrate on shuffling because these cards are just slightly larger than the average size decks I normally use. Okay, we have one that fell out. The Ace of Cups, new love and emotional renewal. Aces represent the number one, so they represent a new start, a new beginning, or a renewal in an already existing situation. And this is an emotional one as well. So the offer is emotional in nature, or what's being offered is coming with an emotional energy. Let's clarify the last two cards, the Seven of Coins and Judgment, because this is contemplation over what to do at a pretty significant crossroads here. An offer has been made. I think someone is feeling a bit fearful. I think they've been trying to change their behavior as of late, and while that has you feeling cautiously optimistic, you're still not sure if whatever offer is coming in is one that you want to take. So let's clarify that. The Nine of Wands, yeah. This is a card which represents somebody who's been through a number of challenges, a number of battles, and they're feeling kind of weary. In this particular card, he's portrayed as kind of sitting down, holding on to the remaining wands. And this is a card, it sometimes can represent the dark night of the soul, or feeling like you've already gone through so much, you've already put so much effort. Should I continue? Should I give up? Often this card represents, pushing through that last mile, being very close to completion of something, because tens represent a cycle completion or achievement, coming full circle. So this is a card of, this is all contemplation, is if I continue to invest in this, is it going to go where I want it to go, or is it just going to be more of the same that it has been in the past? Should I continue investing in this? Should I continue? Is it going to get better? Is choosing to accept whatever this offer is, again, love, friendship, work. Again, it feels like the roles have kind of reversed a bit. Regardless of the nature of the relationship between you and this Emperor individual, whether it's a boss or a husband, boyfriend, it feels like they were the person who, or the situation which was in a position of control over And you at some point just made the decision to stop waiting for their choices or stop waiting on their choices and decisions, and you started to become stronger and more independent, making your own choices and decisions. And you're at a place where you're just shining right now and you're stable. You don't justify anything to anyone else, and you're not seeking anything or nearly as much from this individual. And I think it has them off balance. And so they're coming in with this, it's like they've been recently perhaps trying to change their behavior, and that they're coming in with an offer of some kind, and you're looking at it going, well, that makes me feel kind of happy and validated, and I'm feeling kind of optimistic about this, but also realistically taking a look at everything you've invested in this, and what it's been like, and asking yourself if it's going to be the struggle moving forward that it has been. I don't want to invest in this. So, kind of being in that contemplation place. So I'm going to end with asking for some advice and guidance, and not because to get a clear yes or no, because this is one of those situations, whether it's, leaving one job for another, or ending a friendship, or leaving a romantic relationship, it's going to be yes for some of you, it's going to be no for others. So what I'm going to ask for is Spirit's guidance on what you need to focus on in order to make the decision. What do you need to look for? What do you need? What needs to be the deciding factor for you in making your decision moving forward? I wish my hands were bigger. These cards are kind of large and I don't have very big hands, so I'm just having to adjust. Advice and guidance for Leo. What needs to be the yardstick they make their decision by? The Knight of Swords makes sense. Another knight here, which is somebody, knights bring opportunities for change. They're very action oriented. This is the Knight of Swords, which is the Knight of Air. So he's bringing information, conversation, communication. So is this going to play out? It's kind of like, okay, you've started making some changes, and that makes me feel cautiously optimistic. You're making these other offers, but I want to see how this actually plays out. Is this just lip service, or is this change of behavior? Is it going to continue? Are we going to have better communication, more clear communication? Are you going to communicate with me better? And vice versa. The Knight of Wands. This is the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Action. So this is backing up what you're promising with actual actions. That makes sense. This is kind of like the advice is show me the money. So what we're looking for is advice and guidance from Spirit because the decision is going to be yes for some of you, no for others. So it's not a yes or no advice that we're asking for. It's what you need to think about, what you need to base your decision on. And really, this makes total sense. You need to base your decision on their actions, on if they're going to communicate better, if we're going to work on having more regular communication, more clear, more honest communication, then you want to actually see that play out in real time, in real life, day to day. And the Knight of Wands is action oriented again. So does what you say or what they say prove to be true in their actions moving forward? So it's basically, okay, we've had some small improvements I'm feeling good on. I want to see how this continues to play out, which actually means that for many of you, this is something that's going to require time, some time, but not a huge amount of time, because I think you've already invested quite a lot in this, Leo. So this is about, are these improvements going to continue moving forward? Shall we agree on a 3-month, 6-month period of time and see if we can actually both improve, because it's never just one-sided. More than just lip services is actually going to be reality. Again, whether it's a husband, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife, a friend, a boss, a supervisor, etc. Okay, Leo, well, that is your reading for the last 2 weeks of November. I hope you found it helpful and useful. Again, if you would like to take a deeper look at something or reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, click on the description link below. Feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to hear from you. I will see you all again at the beginning of January for the general readings then. Until then, stay safe and well. Have a wonderful and happy and safe Thanksgiving, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.